Building the walls. 3, 2, 1. So here we are on a beautiful day. So I'm just in the process of cutting the walls and whatnot and putting them all up, making sure that everything is started out nice and level and nice and clean and clear. And so actually all the building supplies for this project have been supplied by Home Hardware Building Center in Orangeville. Fantastic people, great customer service. They're really helpful, answering a lot of our questions and making sure that we're on the right track. Because this is a very unique project, there's different things that we're running into, different applications and design questions and whatnot. So they've been very, very helpful in coming up with a lot of different solutions for us. So they've been very supportive. So I want to say thank you to them. So as you can see, we got the outside walls there set up. The best thing to do is take your time, measure twice, measure 3 times, scratch your head, step back, have a cup of coffee, and just make sure you're on the right track. Make sure everything's nice and level when you're starting, nice and square, nice and plumb. This is very, very important. Once the base is nice and level and you have your walls all nice and level, everything will go together a lot easier. That way inside is level and true and everything else. And as well, because you're building a outside wall all the way around, you want to make sure that you keep your crowns facing on the outside, which means the 2x4s, if they have a bend to them, bend outwards like that. That way any of the finishing features that you would do on the inside, cabinets and countertops and whatnot, will be nice and straight and clean. Because otherwise, if you have your crown bowing inward on your 2x4s, then you would actually run into problems where you're having to shim in different areas and your cabinets won't fit nice and snug to the wall. You'll have to shim at the bottom and whatnot. But if you keep your crowns nice and clean on the outside, the inside is sort of being hugged. So basically you can assemble anything on the inside with very minimal shimming. Countertops go in nicely, shelves, anything that's going to be sitting against the wall, cabinets, even mounts for flat screen TVs and whatnot. We're going to be finishing the entire inside with cedar. And the cedar is actually on 4-inch strips. So that's why you want to make sure you have it nice and square, because any little deviation from front to back will really show in the workmanship and quality of the finished product. Okay, so I'm just going to finish assembling one of the walls here that has our windows in it and get it up. Another thing to make a point on, when you have your walls on the deck, once you've built them on the deck, it's nice to have your put the plywood on the outside and have it overhang the bottom of the deck, so it's a nice clean transition. It's a much stronger wall, better insulated, it ties everything together nice and neat. So basically, here's where the wall actually starts up in here. So we left a 5-inch overhang. That's to come to the bottom of the deck. That way it's nice and clean. We glued and nailed it to the bottom, and that way it's nice and clean all the way up. And at the very, very top, we're still having to build the upper part of the loft. So having the plywood on it gives us a nice clean face to work with. That way when we're putting up the next section of the loft area, it'll be nice and clean and square. Because once we have the entire down here section covered with the plywood, the entire upper half is going to be nice and square and ready to go. The end pieces down here, which are, because it's 8 feet wide, we're going to have 2 sheets of plywood that go on there. So we keep those until the end because of the center locking. This inside stud wall is built on the inside of this one. So it's very, very difficult to actually assemble the wall, put it into place, make sure it's all true and level with the plywood on it. So unfortunately the end pieces you'll have to do once they're actually up, and then you put the plywood on. So we built this with 24-inch center, okay, because there's not much of a load coming down from the top. Okay, so basically as you're setting it up on 24-inch center, Here's 24. Here's 24 right in the center of that wall. That way it'll give you lots of places to screw your exterior onto all the way down. Again, 24 and 24 in the corner. Okay. So I'm going to finish up with this one of the outside walls here, and then I will give you a little update later on.